Hey guys, so Jonathan here from the Dice Masters, and today I'm so excited because we are going to be looking at Lord of the Rings, the card game. So a few things I want to explain before I get into the components of the game. It is based off the novels by J.R.R. Tolkien, and the actual game was created by Nate French. And you'll notice one very special thing. It is 1 to 2 players, so you can play this solo. Now you can also play 1 to 4 players, but that requires another core set just like this one. Now, one more thing, this is a living card game. A living card game basically means that every month, Fantasy Flight is going to be releasing an adventure pack or an expansion pack that adds on to the original core game, and you can buy that and expand your deck. So it is in part living and part deck building game. Alright, so let's move on to the components of the game. Okay everybody, so first component, my hands. They do not come with the game, you're going to have to get your own pair. But first thing that does come with the game is this, the quest cards. These are the adventures that you'll be taking in your stay at Middle-earth, and one thing that is very unique about this game is that it is all the players against the game. It is a cooperative game. So there are actually 3 different quests that come in the core set. These 3 cards make up one quest, but I'm just going to look at the first and easiest one, Passage Through Mirkwood. Each quest has a larger subtitle, but you'll know how they go together because of the smaller lettering on each card. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to rank them by number. So 1A, 2A, 3A, all together. Now in the game, usually the 1A card has several setup instructions as well as some story text. So I'll just read you the setup. I do not expect you to know exactly what I'm saying, but I'm just going to read it. Search the encounter deck for 1 copy of the Forest Spider and 1 copy of the Old Forest Road and add them to the staging area. Then shuffle the encounter deck. After you complete this task, you're going to flip it over to the 1B side, and this is where the quest really begins. You notice another bit of story text. You're going to want to pay attention to this number right here. It's the number 8. On different cards, it will have different numbers. This is the number of progress tokens you must place on this quest to complete it and discard it. And then you can move on to the next stage. Now, some stages will have words like forced that say, when you defeat this stage, proceed to one of the 2 A Chosen Path stages at random. Different cards will have different effects. But right now, we are going to look at the next component of the game, which is going to be all of our tokens. Now, these tokens are divided up into progress, damage, and resource. Resource tokens are the coins that you spend to buy certain cards that will help you along your quest. Progress tokens are the things that require you to put on the card to complete it. And damage tokens obviously hurt or help you based on where they're placed. Alright, the next thing we're going to want to look at is our encounter deck. This is full of the nasty and not so nice things you will be facing in Lord of the Rings, the card game. Just to show you an example, I'm going to pull the top 3 cards, and you'll notice that this game and this deck is divided up into 3 different categories of cards. Treachery cards, location cards, and enemy cards. Location cards, like the quest cards, to defeat, you will have to put a certain number of progress tokens on them. Treachery cards always have a 1 revealed effect. Once you have resolved this, you can discard them, but trust me, they are never ever ever good. And enemy cards you defeat by playing certain heroes or allies against them. Next thing we're going to look at is the good side of this game. all of our player cards. So in this game, we have, I'm just going to show you an example of my deck of heroes, which could be completely different from yours. This is a very customizable game. So in my deck, I have Theodred, Eleanor, Denethor, Thalen, Legolas, Glorfindel, and Bilbo Baggins. One thing I want to point out is that in play you can only choose 3 heroes, so you're going to want to choose the ones that mesh the best together. Now for my playing deck, the one I use, I always take along Glorfindel, Legolas, and Thalen, and discard the rest. Now I'm just going to show you an example of a few more cards. We have events, attachments, and if I can find it, yes, allies. So the 3 different types of cards we see here are events, attachments, and allies. And like the encounter deck, each one has a different purpose. Events are always good. Any card in here is always good, but some are better than others. Attachments, you can attach 2 heroes to give them special abilities, and allies will be able to fight alongside any of your heroes or other allies. Alright, so the next thing we're going to want to look at is our 2 threat trackers that come with the game. Now with our heroes, or my starting heroes, you're going to want to look at this number up here. Now it looks very familiar because we have seen it on our quest cards, but it serves a different purpose here. On your 3 starting heroes, you add up these 3 numbers as your starting threat. And mine just happens to come out to 30. If this number ever reaches 50 or higher, game over, you die, and depending on if you're playing solo or not, you lose the game. Alright, last but not least, we are going to look at the first player token. This game is half played simultaneously, half played using first, second, third, fourth, etc. players, but the first player token is decided randomly, and once then, every turn you pass it to the person to the right of you, and they become the first player for the next round. We have just finished looking at all the components that come in Lord of the Rings, the card game. Next tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to play this game. Really looking forward to that. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe and comment on what games you want to see reviewed and played next. See you next time.